Hello and welcome to the vlog. At the time of filming this, the Crick show was for me just a week ago, but I think for you in viewing terms that would have been 1, 2, 3 vlogs ago, after which you would have seen 2 vlogs which were filmed actually in the couple of weeks before Crick, but now we're back to after Crick. It's all got a bit confusing. Let us steer well away from that Kelvin timeline and back to the original. From here on in, it's just normal cruising again.
Having returned to the boat after Crick, I moved out of the marina and back down the canal a short way, ending up at this wonderful spot. Nice and wide, nice and straight, plenty of mooring, and I stayed here for a few days. Ultimately though, the time had come to leave the Ashby and continue my travels north. The first thing I spotted was this lovely little chap on sentry duty, keeping a keen eye out for dodgy-looking boaters like me.
Hello, you!
The weather was being temperamental again. Dark, looming clouds of doom one minute, and beautiful sunshine the next. Here I am heading through the last, or the first I suppose, few bridges of the Ashby, before I turned sharp right back onto the Coventry canal. And this is the Coventry, so now I was heading north. They sometimes say it's a dog's life, but he looks very comfortable indeed. I'd forgotten how green the Coventry is. It's actually a really nice and pretty canal. And I love that someone made the effort to do this. I was passing through Nuneaton by this point, and smack in the middle here's Boot Wharf, home to a hire fleet and a boat building firm. I noted this the last time I came through, but Nuneaton has an extraordinary number of allotments, which for my overseas viewers are small patches of ground rented from the local council, I think, in order to grow vegetables. It's allotment heaven here. The whole of Nuneaton must be self-sufficient. The other thing you notice is how the houses backing onto the canal really do seem to appreciate it, which is not something you find in every town. All the gardens are neat and make a feature of their waterside view. Out the other side of town, and this is where I moored 3 years ago, the first time I came past. But I wanted to get to Springwood Haven Marina, as there's a chandlery there, and I needed bits for my new batteries, which I hadn't installed at this point. I like this old telegraph pole, but know nothing about it. Anyone got any info? Stick it in the comments. This was just so nice. And it's just around the corner from the marina, so I decided to stop here and go and buy the bits I needed. It's a popular corner too. Loads of boats came and went over the couple of days I was here. When it was time to move on, I needed one more bit that I'd forgotten, so I stopped at the marina mooring and took advantage of their water point to refill my tank. Well, I had just spent a shed load of money with them. Pulling away, I normally push the bow out first, but this time, for no good reason, decided to use the other way of pushing the back out, reversing and then straightening up. Just around the corner, a lovely viewer of the vlog with a gorgeous dog waved at me as I came past, so we had a quick chat about where we were each heading. I wish my paintwork was that shiny. And this is one I've not met before. It's not a fuel boat, but the oil boat, selling various marine oils for your engine and so on. Pubs. The canals are not short of them. I filmed this boat because I loved the look of it. Recycled pallet wood apparently, but I hadn't realised at the time it's home to someone I follow on Instagram. So hello Shinny-sin. Approaching Harts Hill, and lots more interesting boats moored on the left here. I would love to look inside this tiny boat. In fact, I want to do a short series touring tiny narrowboats. Just a little further along, not a tiny boat, but an entrepreneurial one, as the people here are selling eggs from the chickens they keep at the mooring. Here's the Canal and River Trust workshop at Harts Hill. Wouldn't it be great to have a house with a mooring underneath, and maybe a fireman's pole you could descend onto the boat from? I hadn't moved that far, but with emptied toilet tank and full water, I didn't need to get anywhere particular, so I stopped again here for a bit.
I've been at this spot now for a few days while the weather has been frankly atrocious. Windy, rainy, I've even had the stove lit for a couple of days. It's mid-June. It's ridiculous. However, as you can see, today it is lovely, so I'm going to do all of the next 1 mile up to Atherstone.
I don't know why it happens, but whenever I'm about to pull away, a million other boats appear from nowhere, even if it's been totally quiet all morning. This was the second to go past in about 2 minutes, but I wasn't going to wait any longer, so pulled out behind him. A rare sight here, a wind turbine on a narrowboat actually doing something useful. Often they just don't seem to get enough breeze to turn at all. It looks as though whoever owns this is digging out space for more moorings. And they've got some unusual stuff here already. The sign on the front of that blue boat says Towpath Alpacas, and that's because, you guessed it, they've got alpacas on the towpath, presumably for visiting rather than buying from them as a pet. Mind you, it would keep you warm on a winter's night. And just around the corner is this boat, all decked out in the traditional Pullman steam train livery. People often ask me about water management on the canals. Here's an example of an overflow sluice carrying the excess away somewhere. Still busy on the canal. You can tell summer's here, and perhaps the time is right for dancing in the streets. Finally, I hope to put the question to bed of, are there any fish in the canals and do you ever see fishermen? Yes, here's one with a mighty rod, which they always pull out of the way at the very last minute, which has me on tenterhooks every time. The houses indicate I'm coming up to Atherstone. And right at the end there, in the distance, is the first of 11 locks, but with more days of heavy rain in the offing, my plan was to stop here for a week or so. That's it for this one. Cheerio.